Hello and welcome to the channel. I just walked in the door and the UPS man was waiting for me as I pulled up to the house. I got something in the mail today that I've been waiting for a little while now. You know how you order stuff in fall and winter and they tell you it'll be good to ship around March, April, May time frame? Well, now is that time frame and I've gotten something in the mail I'd like to put in the ground today. So if you'd like to see what I'm about ready to put in the garden, stay tuned. The weatherman said it's supposed to rain. Looks like it might. I don't know. I don't know how factual that information is. But if it is going to rain, I need to get some stuff in the garden. So I'm in the fruit area of the garden. And let me show you what I'm about ready to put in. I just opened up the box and it looks quite disappointing. So we'll see how this turns out. This is a new raspberry. I've had this raspberry in the garden before, but it did not fare well with all the moving and just too much transition, too much going on. So hopefully it'll be in this spot for a number of years and there won't be any more transition. So this is called the double gold raspberry. I don't know if you remember what the double gold raspberry looks like. If I can find a clip of that video, I'll put it in so that you can see, or I'll put a picture in so you can see what it looks like. But I just opened up this box and it has been literally tossed around and abused. It is all tossed around. There's soil in this paper sack here. So I'm going to get this in the raspberry pot. Again, it's very young, so I don't know how it's going to fare, but we're going to see. This is my raspberry container. All this right here is raspberry. It is coming in nicely. All of this is chop and drop. I'm going to cut back a good portion of this and let it rot down into a pot. So I have my clippers. I'm going to find the drip line and get it out of the way so that I don't accidentally cut it, because that's always a possibility of cutting your drip line if you don't know where it is. So I'm just going to place it on the side of the pot, off to the side where you all can't see it. And I'm just going to chop back some of this chop and drop. Now, the reason why I put chop and drop in my containers to start with is I wanted to have some live fertilizer. I wanted to enrich my soil. And this is clover. I don't smell any fenugreek. And this is, well, that looks like fenugreek. So it doesn't have a very strong smell right now. Usually it does. But I put clover, fenugreek, and oh, what else did I put? I put alfalfa in these pots back here. So I'm just going to cut it back, let it rot down, use it as a living fertilizer, living mulch, which is all I'm trying to do. I'm also going to cut it back over here. I don't want any of it to go to seed, but I do want to cut it back. And I will be putting some wood chip over the top of this and letting it rot down. Now, the strawberries that I purchased, the double gold, they do have thorns. So that's something that I will need to worry about later on once it grows up. I'm hoping it will grow up. Now, I don't know about you guys in your area, but I am noticing that the flies and the flying insects are coming out. And I definitely am not happy about that. So let me get my shovel and let's make a hole and put some raspberries in. I've decided to do a little bit of a change. I am going to put some fertilizer in this container. I am going to put some azomite rock dust. It's going to put some azomite rock dust just like that. Just a little bit. I'm going to sprinkle in my Osmocote. I don't have any berry tone, and I'm not going to purchase any berry tone. And I'm also going to put some chicken poop fertilizer. And I'm just doing this by the handfuls. There we go. And I'm going to turn it over into the pot. So let me do that. On the top of this pot, you all can't see it, but I have my homemade compost. So I'm just going to turn this over. Just kind of rough it up like so. I don't want to do too much because the raspberry that's already in here is beginning to grow, and it's coming up over here. I don't see it coming up anywhere else, but raspberries spread. So I just want to be very careful with turning this into this existing soil. I don't want to disrupt too much. So I'm just going up under the chop and drop and moving the compost under there with my hands. Just kind of massaging it in a little bit. I don't know if you all can see what I'm doing, but if you can you see that? I'm just massaging that in, just like that. Pulling up some of that wood chip, putting in that fertilizer, just like so. And I don't want to make too much of a disruption, but I do want to get that into the top layer of the soil. And it'll work its way down. So I'll do this and then I'll be right back. Now that I've kind of mushed that up and worked it in a little bit, I'm just going to make a little area right on this side, the opposite side. You shouldn't have them that close together, but I don't want this growing in the ground because it does spread. Raspberries do spread. I'm just going to make a little hole right here. Can you guys see? Let me move y'all back a little bit. If I disrupt the roots of the chop and drop, that's fine. I have no problem with that. Again, this was only put in here as food for the pot. So I'm not really concerned about it. So I'm just going to place it right here. I'm just making a little bit of a hole. And I'm actually going to put a little bit of the, not Osmocote, but the azomite rock dust right in there. And just kind of mix it in a little bit. Now I'm going to take this raspberry. And I'm slightly disappointed. I got this from Burpee. And it looks a hot mess. This is what it looks like when I opened up the box. This is how it came to me. And I'm really disappointed in the packaging. Now, I understand that there's very little they can do once they pack it and ship it off. They can't do anything about the shipper and how it's handled. But I would like to think they would have done a better job. I've gotten plans from other companies that they look a whole lot better than this. So I'm hoping that this will live and grow and prosper, because if it does not, I'm going to have to send them a message, because this was really ratty. They could have done a much better job of planning this up and shipping it out, or actually just potting it up in a way that it didn't come to me looking like it was just tossed around with no care in the world. So let me see if I can get the rest of the soil out of this box, because the soil just was everywhere. I like to keep the soil that comes with it. I like to keep that with the plant and pot it up, because it was growing in that, so I like to leave that. There we go. I'm just going to take some compost from over on the opposite side of the pot and just fill in around it. A little bit of wood chip as well. Fill in around it. And there you have it. I'm going to take this chop and drop, and I think what I might do, I might just go ahead and bury this chop and drop. Just make a hole and bury it. I don't know if it's going to properly rot down just laying it on the top. I mean, it should. Well, I'm gonna test it out because I want to see if it'll rot down. So, and that's pretty much it, everybody. The raspberry, I'm not gonna cover it up because I don't want it to die. But the raspberry is right here, right, oop, right here. That's where the raspberry is. I don't want to cover it up. I'm gonna put a little bit of mulch around it so that it stays. I am gonna water it in. I've tried to seed it in just like that. And that is what I am hoping will grow. A double gold raspberry. Now, if I can find the tag, I'll put the tag right here. That way I know right where it is. I'm trying not to poke that root ball at all, but put it right there in front. And that's it for me today, everybody. I'm not doing a whole lot. It's supposed to rain. It's really dark, and the flies and everything else are out right now. And I'm trying to take it easy and go in the house. So I will do more gardening another day, and I'll take you all along when I come back out in the garden. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, leave me a comment if you so feel inclined, and I hope to see you either in my food forest garden, my indoor garden grow space in the garage, or my kitchen real soon. Until the next time, bye for now.